Welcome again. This is the last video in this mini series or mini folder as it relates to entries, stop loss, take profit, the works. I will be showing y'all a bit yet. I will be going over this on the live market, but before I go over the live market, not on the live market but on the chart itself. But before I do that, I'm going to show you different scenarios of what can happen while the market is moving, because the market will not always be this perfect. There there are scenarios where first one, if the when the market's in a downtrend and it reached down to this part right here, what can happen is the market can come up to here instead. When the market comes up to here, it can still find some form of level of support before it continue going down. So this could have been a major level of resistance right here, and the market comes up to it before it goes down to here. So not all the time it's going to be perfect that it will come back to this area here or come back up to the previous old floor or previous old roof. So there's a lot of things that can happen. There's even scenarios where the market comes down to here. Say the market comes down to here, right? And it does thought this was selected. Let me lock this. And the market does something like this. Breaks all the way up and comes down to here. Goes up to here. Right? What can happen is it can come back down to this price right here. And then goes back up. So this scenario is a complete reversal, and a lot of times people don't notice this and they're still adamant and saying, yo, I'm fixated on the sell, I'm going to continue sell. But you can see straightforward from using a trend line, not a perfect trend line, but breaks a trend line. Most time the trend line, this will reflect on the trend line, or this will not reflect. This will bounce off of the trend line somewhat. So this is also another scenario that can happen on the market. What I normally do when I'm trading, I think about all possible outcomes. So once I see it going on that route, that's how I'm going to play with my cards. At times I even have like 4 or 5 predictions. A lot of people laugh about predictions and say, yo, just go with the flow of the market. Going with the flow of the market can be using predictions. Will not always be as accurate as you expect it to be, because you do not know how long the market will consolidate or what will happen if the market goes down to a price when it starts to consolidate. How fast it, how liquid the market is, how fast it push, how slow it push. There's a lot of variables that will not make your predictions as accurate as possible, but a lot of times when it comes down to price areas, it is very possible to do that. So let us, this is basically the scenarios I wanted to show you, not on the chart, but I'm just showing you that you should not be fixated on a sell or fixated on a buy, because anything can happen and the movement of the market change in instance. So let us go on to my favorite pair, US30, and let me show you my madness, as I would call it. So while the market is moving, as I've showed before, These are the areas I'm constantly looking for. These areas, these areas, these areas. Always looking for these areas to see which one is going to bounce, which one is going to this, which one is going to that. Today, which is my first day of trading back currency, I made a trade of USD CAD, and the reason I made an entry of USD CAD today was mainly based off not really roof and floor, but it's roof and floor to a sense. The entry I made today was on the 5-minute chart. Here, the market comes down to here and creates a floor. Market comes down to here, creates another floor. Market comes up to here, creates a new roof. Old floor to new roof. Let me adjust this a bit. So typically, how I will get to how I draw the boxes, the term. Soon get to that. So here you can see where the price went up. This would be what you call rejection. Price tried to break this area, got rejected and pushed back down. So this is where I made my entry for today. And it was a small entry still because I got like, I'm not going to lie, I got like 10 pips because I felt that I wanted to sleep, so I decided to set my take profit to an area that I'm assured of. The reason why I set there was because of on the 60 minute, I set my take profit for here, which was the previous floor, or better the new floor on a higher time frame. So I'll use these areas on a higher time frame to set my large take profit areas. Go back on the 5-minute. So this was a good example of old floor turn new roof. As it relates US 30, these pop up in US 30 a lot on the lower time frames. So today in US 30 was, it's a lot of sideways movement. You might not see it on the lower time frames, but it's not really sideways. But from here on, like, it was sideways for the past couple hours. It's just started taking a momentum around 1 o'clock, even 1 o'clock, even at 4 o'clock area. This is what 12, 3 o'clock area. This area is still a bit of consolidating. It's just breaking the consolidation zone. So it has been a crazy week thus far. Remove drawings. Alright, so typically join area, I use the rectangle. I use this wick here and I draw it to the candle body. Once it closes within this range or above the range, for example for an uptrend, this would have been my entry area right here. So once this candle closes and this candle opens above it, I'm going to enter off of this candle here. Same for different areas as you go along. So as the market moves, depending on how the market is moving, I'm trying to find, I don't normally trade on the hour, but I'm just showing you what you can see on the hour. But the lower time frames, like on the 5-minute now, let me show you what happened with the line that I drew. This was the area. If you realize a lot of times the market comes down to this zone, goes back up, comes back down, goes back up, because you can classify this as a strong area of support or a strong area of resistance. Even here, comes up to it, goes back down, comes down to it, goes back up. So you will find that this area is a strong area of support or resistance. As the market moves, what I do as the market moves, so for like now where the market is now, the market is in an uptrend. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the market to do some form of pullback to areas like this to continue with a buy. Areas like here, continue with a buy. Areas like here. So now these three areas are the areas that I am looking for the market to come back to. So you can see right at this price here, right at this price here, it fully what do you call, it fully acknowledged the criteria of old roof turn new floor at this point. So I'm looking for the market to come down back to here, then goes back up, or even I'm looking for a different pullback, like a stronger pullback to this price here, then goes up. So this is what I would be looking for. I wouldn't draw the areas here. I wouldn't draw but I would not draw the lines for the old floors. Reason being, old floor turn roof means that you're in a downtrend. We're in an uptrend, so we only want to know what is happening going up. Even though it would be beneficial to know if the price bounced off of an old floor turn new roof, but you should reach to the point where you fully see and understand all of that. So that is exactly what I look for when it comes on to enter my trades. A lot at times I might not enter a trade for a couple of hours. I might not enter a trade for a day because it did not satisfy any of my criteria that I want. Cases like these where you have a long week, sometimes you can just simply use half of the week. You don't have to use the complete week itself. And remember what I said before with the support and resistance areas. It's the same thing as it relates to roof and floor. There is going to be areas of touch, overlap, and gap. So you're going to have touch, overlap, and gap. Normally with the gaps, what will happen with the gaps is that you will see wicks. With overlap, a lot of times you might have like small wicks. Same with this, you will have wicks same way, but this is more perfect candle body to candle body, candle body to candle body. Mistake. So these are the three things you're looking for as it relates to roof and floor. So the pointed areas like this would have been a V, or upside down V. This area would have been an upside down V. This area would have been a V. So basically areas of which the market goes up to, then comes back down, or market goes down to and comes back up. These are the areas that we're looking for. And as the market moves, we can see them happen a lot of times. If you trade on the 5 minute, remember to not only be fixated on the 5 minute. We can go up to the 15 to have a different perspective of what is happening. So now, like with this being here, let me show you based on the 5 minute, on the 15 minute now. With this area here, I am more convinced or more certain that the current price will fall to this area or somewhere around this zone before it tries to push past back this area. And if it does come down to this area here, and you get a buy from here to this area back, it is $48. Not a lot, but it's a good trade. A lot of people can make $48 in a couple minutes off of one trade, but this would have been the area that I'm looking for to get that nice buy entry that I want. If you go on the 30, it's basically the same, representing from over here. Go on the hour, 240. All right, let me delete these. Let me show you something. So this was the area. This was one area here. If you realize none of these candles closed below this price. So what happened? Came down, rejection, came down, could not enter the zone, rejection, broke the zone, got rejected, went back up. So these are strong levels of support or resistance, but we're using them on a smaller scale. We're not using them like trying to outline everything on the day, on the week. We're not trying to do it like that. So yeah, this is how I want y'all to view this. The main reason for this is because I realize that we keep on having the same Zoom sessions a lot, because I'm not sure if y'all not getting it when we do the Zoom sessions. So I would rather you have the videos so you can easily go over them when you're ready to say, okay, I am going to, sorry about that, reading a message. Yeah, so have the videos, so if you don't understand you can go over it multiple times. If you still do not get it, please do not hesitate to contact me. Please just contact me. I will go over anything that you do not understand, even though I'm not so certain that you're supposed to not understand this video. I've made it as clear as possible. So thank you again for your time and your patience. I tried my best to make these videos as short as possible, but they are not that short. But I realize that not all information can be cut in half and you get the full gist of everything. So continue trade, continue make that money. Thank you.